Hello everyone and welcome to CISM 3330 during the month of June and summer of 2015. My name is Dr. Prince and I will be your instructor for this semester or this month, and we're going to be working very quickly through some material. So I'd like to begin by giving you an introduction to the class itself. We'll start by looking at the syllabus. It's a very basic syllabus because there's not a lot that goes on in this class. So I want you to understand what my goal is for you when you are finished with the material for this class. But to begin, let me start with just some basic information. Here's where my office is, but I won't be there over the summer. I'm actually packing that office up starting on July the 1st. I'll be the Associate Dean for the College of Business. So I'll be moving up into Adamson Hall, and my office right now is being boxed up. And so that when our current associate dean is ready to move out, they can just move all of our material. So I won't be on campus, but if you need me, we can make an appointment and I will meet you there somewhere. We can meet up in a learning lab or the MIS lab or anywhere on campus. So if you do need me, I will make myself available. But most of the time, we can handle everything through email first. If email doesn't work, my personal rule, rule for email is that I will make you a 48-hour promise, 24-hour attempt. But being a summer class, I'm going to try to keep it much shorter than that. So if you haven't heard from me in 24 hours, I want you to email me again, okay? So I'm going to try to respond as quick as I can because I know that this is a short semester and you don't have a lot of time to sit around and wait on me to respond on a question. So if you have a question that you email me and I don't respond quickly, go ahead and send me a text message to this number and let me know that you're waiting on a response. Now, give me more than an hour, okay? Sometimes I might be driving or something and I just can't respond right away. So be reasonable, but if it's been a day and I haven't gotten back with you, then try another method. So email first and then text or call. My email address, just my West Georgia email address. I don't like the email here in CourseDen because I don't get any notifications about messages. So please email me at my West Georgia email address. Since it's on Google, I've got it on my phone and I get updates and notifications, so I'll be able to respond much quicker. And also please put CISM 3350 in the subject line so I'll know immediately which class you're asking a question about, and it'll just help me get in the right mindset for your message. Here's my phone number for you to text or phone call if you've got emergencies or anything like that, or if I don't respond to you from your email, then please give me a call or a text. I prefer text messages because then sometimes I can't answer the phone, but I can respond to a text. You know how that works. I imagine most of you prefer text messages as well. Here's just some attendance policies. You're required to attend on scheduled class days. Right now I don't have any scheduled class days. There's only one time where you'll have to come to campus for a proctored certification exam, but it's not the actual certification exam. It's a proctored practice exam. And I'll cover all of that a little bit later. But you can do that on your own time, but you have to schedule time with the graduate assistants that we have in our department. So that's the limiting factor there, is the graduate assistants and their schedule within the department. Okay, so we've got two separate goals in this. First, you're going to do some research yourself about the types of jobs that you would be interested in working in. And you're going to very quickly, I hope you already have some ideas, but what I want you to do is to go out on the web and look for some job openings and look specifically at the skills that are required to be successful in that career. And now I want you to think not just jobs that you would apply for today, but I want you to think about the type of jobs that you might be interested in 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and look at those skills and what's required to be successful down the road. Because what I want you to do is to begin to prepare yourself for your 5th year job, not for the job you're going to get right out of the door. I want you to begin to prepare for the job that's 5 or 10 years down the road. So the first thing you're going to do is find, categorize, and understand the skills necessary to be successful in your career. Okay? Then you're going to write me a paper that will outline the market for your chosen area of interest and present a 5-year plan for how you're going to be successful in your career and not just your degree. Okay, so that's the first part of this first goal. I've got two separate goals here. Let me in fact just go ahead and goal 1. Okay, and then goal 2 is going to be based on this 5-year plan. Okay, so you see that what you're going to see is that there's every job out there is you're going to have a 4-year degree. Okay, and there's just not hardly any jobs that don't require a 4-year degree. But you're also going to see that most of these jobs are going to be looking for experience or other skills or expertise. So you're going to need some things like soft skills, leadership skills, communication skills, organization skills, time management skills. Those are things that the only way you can demonstrate that is through activities that require you to communicate and be a leader and work with other people. So any of your student groups that you have on campus, that's a good way to show that you have those soft skills. Okay, but there's other skills that you need outside of the degree that are technical skills. And our degree will prepare you for some of those, but it's hard to put your finger on it and say an MIS degree at the University of West Georgia means that you can do this. The reason that's hard is because everybody doesn't take the same classes. And some of you develop expertise in one area, some in another. So the MIS degree is a broad umbrella. But certifications will help you to be very specific about something you're good at. So you need to pick what that skill is and train for certification. Okay, a lot of people do a Security Plus, a Network Plus. Some want to do an A Plus, which I don't really recommend. I recommend either the Security, the Network Plus. Some do a Server Plus. These are all CompTIA certifications. CompTIA is the company that makes them. Some people have worked on Microsoft SQL Server certifications. There's a lot of different things, and I'll show you that in another video of different training options that you have. So what we have access to for you is something called LearnSmart, and you have access to LearnSmart through this class. And within this training system, there's software and videos and tutorials that can help you train and prepare to take these certifications. There's also practice exams for these certifications. The practice exam for these certifications within this LearnSmart system is what you're going to take proctored for me later on. Alright, so the first goal you will complete in about the first 2 or 3 days of class. You have to just get right on this and get this plan knocked out, because you have to decide which certification you want to train for, because then you take the rest of the month to study for and train for that certification. It doesn't have to be these. There's a lot of options, and I'll go over that with you in a separate video. This is just your course overview video. So you're going to train for that certification and complete a proctored practice exam, and then after you complete a proctored practice exam, meaning that either myself or one of our graduate assistants, someone sat with you and watched you take the exam and in as close to a real-world exam scenario as possible. Then the school, we got a grant. We received a grant that purchased this LearnSmart software, and the grant is also good for buying vouchers. So the training is going to be free for the certification. And just to give you an idea what this is worth, if you went to a weekend boot camp, which would be a very intense weekend to prepare for a weekend boot camp, you've got to spend about 40 to 50 hours of studying to get ready for the boot camp. And then when you go to the boot camp, I did one for the Network Plus, and it was in about 10-hour afternoon, evening on Friday. It was an 18-hour day on Saturday, and then a 6-hour review on Sunday morning, and then we took the exam. So you're looking at a lot of work right at the end. and that weekend cost, I think it was $1,800. Well, you're going to receive access to training that will help you prepare for that for free as part of this class. So you're getting access to this training for free. You are going to get to sit for the exam for free. And if you were going to pay for the voucher on your own, it would cost, depending on which one, anywhere from $100 to $500, depending on the certification. So this is a huge opportunity for you. I can't stress that enough, how good this deal is for you to be able to not only study for a certification, but be able to sit for the certification, and you don't have to pay for any of it. All right, so what has to be done for the semester? The only thing I require for you to get a grade is you first have to turn this part in. That's part of a grade. But for this, you don't have to take the actual certification. The proctored practice exam counts for your final score for the class. Once you get your voucher, your timing of being able to sit for the actual certification may not work out to be during June. You may have to do it in July. I don't know what testing center you're going to go to, what their schedule is. All that I require is that if the school buys you a voucher, is that you let us know if you passed or not. You send us your results. So that is on your own time to actually pass the exam once you have the voucher. But for your grade, you have to take the proctored practice exam that's inside the LearnSmart system. So basically, we're trying to prepare you for your career. Goal 1, look at the market right now, 5 years, 10 years, jobs you would be interested in being in at that point. Pick a skill that you need to demonstrate and choose a certification that will help you do that, and then start studying. So what I need you to do over the next 3 days is get started writing this 5-year plan. Let me move on down here and I'll show you the weight. Your MIS career planning paper, which is your 5-year plan, is worth 25% of your grade. Okay, so you've got to get on that. You've got to start thinking. You've got to start looking at some job descriptions. This is a summer class. It meets every day, so this is not one of those things where I give you a project and it's not due for the next week. This thing is due quick. In fact, I believe I've got it set up to be due on Wednesday, but I'll look at the calendar in a moment. Certification study reporting is 10% of your grade. I have 7 dates over the semester where you're going to have to report into me, and I'll go over later in another video what that report needs to be. But you're going to have to report into me about your progress studying toward the certification. And then your final certification practice exam, this is the proctored practice exam, is going to be 65%. Now what I do here is that if you pass the exam, then that's considered a 100. On most of these exams, like say the Net Plus and the Security Plus, the passing percentage is around a 70 or 71. So from 70 to 71% up, I consider 100. And then I prorate it down. So if you actually fail the certification practice exam and you make a 65 out of a 65% instead of a 70%, so it took 70% to pass, but you made 65%, that's not a D. I take 65 and divide it by 70, and that gives you roughly something like a low 90. So you would get an A for this part, even though you didn't pass the proctored exam. Okay, so I hope that if you're confused about that, I will clear it up as we get closer to it. But if you don't pass the proctored exam, then I will not let the school buy you a voucher. So you have to pass it before I let the school buy you a voucher. Okay, so there's a lot of things going on here. I've got to give you a grade off of your practice proctored exam, but that is also the ticket for us to buy you a voucher. Then you take that voucher to a testing center, and that tells them which exam you're taking and that you've paid, and all you have to do is schedule to take your exam. So there's a lot to this, but the main thing you need to worry about right now is this project, 5-year career planning project. So let's go to the calendar briefly. So today is the introduction to the class, and you begin thinking about your 5-year career plan. Tomorrow you work on your 5-year career plan and submit your choice for certification. Your 5-year career plan isn't due until Wednesday, and I'll make it Wednesday at like 5 o'clock. But by tomorrow, I need you to email me the certification that you want to study, because I need to get the LearnSmart system set up. And with 40 students in the class this semester, I've got a lot of things to do within the LearnSmart system to have it ready for you to begin studying on Wednesday. So I need to know tomorrow what your certification choice is going to be tomorrow, Tuesday, June 2nd, so that Wednesday, June 3rd, you can start studying. And then you see I've got certification check-in on Friday, and then it's basically every other day. Since you give me a check-in on Friday, skip Monday, check-in Tuesday, check-in Thursday, then come in and check-in Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Then you've got check-in number 7, and then you submit your proctored exam results on the last day of the class on June 25th. So that's what I'll be looking for once we get rolling in the class. But the most important part, I can't stress enough how important this is for you to really spend some good time thinking about where you want your career to go over the next 5 to 10 years, so that you choose a certification that can help take you there. I need to know that certification by tomorrow so that I can get you set up in the LearnSmart system. Once I get the LearnSmart system set up, I will post another introduction that will give you instructions on how to log in, where to log in, and how to find your certification training material. So you don't have that now, you don't need that now, don't worry about that right now. The only thing you need to worry about right now is this 5-year career plan, and that's going to work towards choosing your certification. Now here under the MIS Job Research folder, you find the description of your 5-year career plan project. And here's a drop box where you will actually submit your work, but it also has your instructions. So I told you that one of the things you need to do is to look at job position openings that you would be interested in 5 years down the road. And what I want you to do is compile a list from all the jobs of the skills and knowledge and experience that you will need for this chosen career path. So build you a list of all the things that you need to be successful in that career that you've seen from different job postings, some of things that you'd be interested in 5 years from now. Then I want you to create a personal skills, experience, and knowledge inventory. So at this point, you should begin to see some gaps. Step number 1 is point B. That's where you're going. Step number 2 is point A. That's where you are. So your list of where you are today is not going to be as full as the list of where you should be 5 years from now. So you're going to see some gaps. You're going to see some things that are missing, some things that you need to develop. It might be that you need to develop leadership skills or management skills or communication skills, or that you need experience working with servers, or maybe you need experience working with networks, or maybe you need experience with coding. Whatever it is that you want to do, you're going to see areas that you need improvement. And the degree is just only one part of that. So then I want you to create a plan that's going to address the gaps. You're going to outline in your paper what you're going to do in year 1. I will, whatever you choose to do. With year 2, I will do this. Year 3, I'll do this. 4, I'll do this. So you're going to give me your point B, which is the list of where you need to be. Okay? Then you're going to give me your point A, which is where you are, your skills that you have today. Then you're going to tell me how you're going to basically overcome any deficiencies. Oops, I must have clicked on something to edit it. So that's what the 5-year career plan is about, is looking at where you need to go, looking at where you are, and then creating a plan on how you're going to overcome any of the deficiencies or things that you're missing or skills that you need to develop, so that when you get to year 5, you're prepared to apply for those jobs. So that's what you're going to be doing over the next 3 days, today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. You notice I've got it set to be due June the 3rd at 5 p.m. So you need to get that to me by then. And also remember that by tomorrow you need to email me the certificate that you want me to set you up in within the LearnSmart system. I know I've covered a lot in this first video here. Just a couple more things and I will quit. I'm sorry that this has been long, but this is our introduction to the class. I post videos and news items here in the course news. You can subscribe to course news updates up here by going to your name and then click on notifications, and you can receive any course news that way. Or I sent everyone a remind invitation, and I sent this to your West Georgia email address, and this will allow you to put in a phone number. I don't get the phone number. I don't want the phone number, but this will allow you to submit a phone number, and I also send out a text message. So when I post a YouTube video that's an update, a news item, something like this, I will send a text message out to the class through this system, and everyone that is registered under my CISM 3350 will receive the update. And most of the time, if it's a YouTube video, I'll put the link in there. So if you're looking at on your smartphone at the text message, you can just tap the link and watch the video right there and not have to log into CourseDen. So whichever way you prefer is up to you, but one way or the other, either through this remind system to get a text message or through CourseDen, through the notifications area up here, one or the other, I want you to sign up for notifications from the class because you don't have time to fall behind. I'll be checking in tomorrow to see who has logged in and who hasn't. If you have not logged in, you're going to start getting some nasty grams from me because you don't have time to fall behind. If you get behind, you will not be able to catch up in this short semester. So I wish you all the best. I look forward to getting your 5-year career plans in on Wednesday, and I look forward to getting you set up to start studying for these certifications. Have a great day, and let me know if you have any questions.